Thank you, Senator Kane. Senator Cotton.
General, thank you for your service to our country and congratulations on your nomination. We've spoken on several occasions this morning about reports and studies. A GAO report released earlier this year says that in the last 5 years and across about a dozen classified or sensitive studies, quote, the Department of Defense has studied contested mobility but has not systematically addressed recommendations, end quote. What, in your opinion, is preventing Transcom from systematically addressing these study recommendations, and how can you improve on this assessment?
Senator, facing these, really threats from China and Russia and strategic competition, we have learned that we really need to ensure that logistics planning is integrated with all joint warfighting functions. Logistics planning is not an add-on, and it needs to be part of the deliberate process as we go forward. So if confirmed, Senator, I'll work with the other combatant commanders to ensure that logistics concerns are being addressed early, and we provide options to them for the best use of these scarce resources.
Thank you. Following down that line, I too want to commend our airmen who performed excellently a job in Afghanistan that they should have never had to perform. They were brave, they were skillful, they saved many lives. That's the rare occasion in which we've seen contested logistics play out in the real world in recent years. However, the contest we faced in Afghanistan would look like child's play if we had a conflict with China in the Western Pacific. And it would have us fighting on all fronts, to include very much, as you say, on logistics. What have studies such as the mobility capabilities and requirement studies, as well as others, demonstrated regarding the survivability, efficiency, and reliability of our logistics systems during a large and contested conflict with China?
Senator, the Mobility Capability Requirements Study did provide a very comprehensive assessment on what the new employment concepts would do to logistics, and that information was given to the combatant commanders to overall assess the risks to their plans for us having to essentially project and sustain along a long contested line of communication. And you were correct. In Afghanistan, early on, the ground line of communication became non-usable, and we had to move to an air lines of communication to execute the retrograde. So as we move forward, we take the results from Mobility Capability Requirements Study, and we'd like to exercise those in our upcoming war games and TTXs so that we can better tease out the insights required to build a stronger joint deployment and distribution enterprise so that we can project and sustain throughout strategic competition.
Thank you. China's Belt and Road Initiative has invested substantially throughout Asia and Africa, increasingly in Europe, in logistics and transportation hubs, in particular in international ports. I'd like your assessment on whether that initiative, and especially its investment in ports, has created any new access problems for Transcom, or do you foresee it creating access problems as ports might be potentially closed to the United States and our partner forces during a time of crisis?
Senator, you've hit on a key concern. China has been challenging a stable and open international order, trying to impose their authoritarian model beyond their borders. They have been coercing our allies and partners to make different economic, diplomatic, and even security decisions. And their investments around the world in ports are something that we're absolutely watching with respect to how it would change any access basing and overflight that we critically need. The good news is we have a deep bench of allies and partners, and we can provide multiple options through multiple routes and nodes, not just from organic capability, but by relying on our commercial partners who have a very extensive network throughout the world, and in some cases that we might not have access to. So going forward, Senator, if confirmed, I will continue to assess our global posture with respect to China to ensure that we can meet all of the combatant commanders' requirements.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Transcom has a lot of very important responsibilities. I think the number one priority for Transcom, as all of our combatant command, needs to be the preparation for and therefore hopefully the deterrence of a conflict with China.